since the first shutdown.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the norm. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why or how this is working, you know.
Let me know if you're too cold. And, still registering 78.
Oh.
Oh, awesome.
I was going to say, your granddaughter is so cute.
Isn't she adorable? She's a nice kid too.
Yeah, how old is she now?
She's 5.5. Yeah.
So she's starting ballet? Well, I guess they can't
Well,
start ballet,
you know,
can
no, they could, but she's not. She's just a natural.
Yeah.
She really is. I mean, you can tell. She just kind of feels the music.
Mm-hmm.
And her father was playing the piano.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, she was inspired. And for a while I was following her and I thought, you know what? Put the camera on her. She's just, she just is it.
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of fun. I don't think anyone can hear me yet.
We can
I
hear
can
you.
hear you.
And that's good to know.
Right, we know you're bragging about your grandchild, but that's okay.
That's what you heard.
There's a certain tone that grandmothers have.
She's so fun.
Good.
We were, she was dancing at the ballet bar that I have at my house, and my son, her father, was playing the piano, and she was dancing to it. And then Keith, of course, was taking the video, and all was well.
Where do you have the ballet bar in your house?
In my
den?
Yeah. So you can hear me.
Absolutely. It's great.
This is our next to last class here at the club. So welcome the people who are here.
Thank you.
You snuck in, Liz, but I saw you.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. And we're getting a little late start, and I apologize. I'm going to ask that you lie down on your back, please. And I'm going to keep you as we are at the moment. I will mute you in a moment, but I just want to have you lie down and stretch and breathe. So welcome to Hillary and Ava and Melanie and Janet.
Hello.
Have I missed anyone? Well, how would you know? Anyway. All right, I'm going to go ahead and mute you. And you know that you can unmute yourselves whenever you need to. Just trying to get this thing off my screen. Oh. So I had the pleasure of going to, there's a mansion in Wynwood, and I did yoga outdoors yesterday, and my mat is still a little damp. That's fun. All right, so let's go ahead and find an upper ab curl. So you can bend your knees. You can have your feet down on the mat. I think I would prefer that. And then go ahead and just come up on an exhale and down on an inhale. So finding an upper ab curl. Ava, are you okay? Okay. So I want you to notice how you're getting into your upper ab curl. I'm dropping my ribs down, and my ribs are actually going down and a little bit that go down to my spine, and then they curl around so that I can actually find an upper ab curl, and then lengthen down. Let's do it a couple more times, and just notice if you curl your tailbone. I don't want you to. I want to see if you can let everything lengthen and curl in the upper body. And then once you're there, I would like you to hold on to the back of your legs. And want you to feel the back of your legs pressing away, back of legs. So you're activating your hamstrings. You guys feel that? I sure do. Yikes. Now bring your legs into your frog shape. You still should feel the back of your legs. Hands go back behind your head. Let that bring you up into an upper ab curl even more. And then notice your gaze. Heels pressed together. You're going to straighten your legs out on an inhale and back in on an exhale. And keep going. Good. Keeping the pelvis nice and still. Stretching the legs away and then pulling them in. And you guys know the routine. There's 5 in each of the positions. So you're going to go to your second position when you're ready, which is legs together, pointed toes. Make your pelvis really heavy so you can round up and over it. And when you press your legs out, it's coming from the back of the legs and the belly's pulling them in. The shins are parallel to the floor and ceiling. Don't let your heel drop. And keep your inner thighs together, particularly when they come in. And then you flex your heels. Make sure that it's a good flex, reaching through the heels. Nice. These look great. Nice, Liz. That looks wonderful. And then take a little breather. Head, neck, and shoulders can go down. Arms can go down by your side. And I want you to take your feet as wide as the mat and just knock your knees in and out. And you can also do that when your thighs draw down towards your chest. You can also rock side to side. And then we'll come back into that position that we were just in our tabletop and hands back behind the head in an upper ab curl. And then you're going to feel all this connection into the rib cage. So everything wraps around here. So that's why it's a little easier when you straighten your legs and you straighten your arms for hundreds. You can still stay in your upper ab curl. So inhaling for 5 pumps and exhale for 5. Still the back of the legs are active. Back of the arms are active. You're rounding up and over so you can see the belly drop down. You're not crunching in any way. You are merely rounding. I'm going to call that halfway there. If you don't think you're halfway there, then you're counting the last 5 or so breaths. See if you can really breathe. Those of us in the room can't really breathe as well as you can, but you can. And after you're finished your 10 big full breaths, go ahead and recover either by dropping the knees in towards your chest or by stretching. Eventually stretching. We're going to do a roll up here. So you already know how to do the roll up because it comes into your upper ab curl. The arms can go any way you want them. I'm going to have my arms down by the side for a moment. My ribs are going to drop down so I can come into my upper ab curl. I can recognize it. And then I'm going to come up and over, stretching my whole back body. And then I'm going to stack myself up for the first one here so I can roll down. But you get to decide what you want to do. And get a nice stretch in your spine before you come back up. This is all just a big stretch. It'd be so nice if you could think of it like that. It's not a crunch or a collapse in any way. You're stretching. Your legs are really working. Those thighs that I just talked about, the back of the thighs are pressing down to the mat. Your inner thighs are pulling together. We're doing 3 more rolls up and down. Just like you're rolling your yoga mat out and back up. Yeah, nice. I just saw a drop down of the shoulders, which is really beautiful in this studio here. Yep, and yeah, and the breath keeps going through that hardest part. Maybe you have 2 more. These look so good. Your legs are so important in this exercise. I sometimes forget, but it would be really nice if I could remember that they're the strong, long legs. Yeah. Now we're rolling over. Same idea. So let's just take our legs up toward the ceiling, like a tailbone long, and then just point and flex and circle the ankles. Get a little movement in your feet. And then here, feel the back of the legs more than the front of the legs. So the back of my legs. So the arms are going to press down, the shoulders are wide. You're going to deepen the belly to curl over yourself. So the legs go over, slightly pointed and together. And then I'm going to open a little wider and then flex your heels and take your spine down underneath your legs. And keep going. There are 3 like that. You can use a little controlled momentum. These look great. Do what you can. It's the same principle as rolling like a ball. It just doesn't have that same momentum. And then do 3 more with the legs apart, still pointed on the way up. And then together flex. You should feel the back of your legs at all times. They're not just getting a stretch, they're actually really working. Cheryl, do you feel the back of your legs?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's good. All right, we did it. We're going to do single leg circles before we do tree. So, as you lie down onto the mat, you should feel a little longer, a lot more space in between your ribs and your hips, and you're going to straighten your left leg. Your right leg's going to go up toward the ceiling. If you like using a TheraBand, it's there for you. Let's do what we did last week. We did 3 circles with the hips down, 3 across, going counterclockwise. After 3 with the hips on, you're going to allow the hips to stack and then unstack. Do that 3 more times actually. So we'll do 3 and 3. Keeping the ribs where they are. Good. Hug the knee in just gently, just briefly. Bring that leg back up. Now it goes clockwise. It goes down and across with the hips on 3 times. Get those nice stretches. Swing the leg around in the hip socket. After 3 with your hips on, you'll do 3 with hips off. Notice the difference. As it goes across, the hip comes off, and then it slides back on again. Leg is long and strong and really free to move around 3 times in each direction. And then hug the knee in, take any stretches. You can take the leg to the side with a bent knee or straight leg or across your body. And then you put it down next to the other one and the other one will come up. So 3 clockwise circles, hip on. Stretch the leg out of the hip. Keep the pelvis quiet. You might even want to hold on to your hips to make sure that that's happening. And then hips come off. So these 2 exercises, hips on and hips off, are completely different. I hope you can recognize that. And then take a little hug just briefly so that you can get your hips to elongate again. And now we're going counterclockwise. So 3 counterclockwise. It's taken me this long to figure out to say counterclockwise and clockwise. Just saying. All right, and then the hips come off. Are you noticing the work that's happening in the hips off? Are you noticing your oblique muscles? Are you noticing how the spine, the lower spine, rotates? All right, hug that knee in. Take the leg, either straight leg or long leg, out to the side, across your body. Just notice all the stretches that you can get. And then place that leg next to the other leg. Oh. I'm going to do a roll up to a seated position, or rolling like a ball. So remember to connect your arms back into the body so that none of this happens, right? And even in rolling like a ball, it seems to happen. So let's just get into our rolling like a ball position. So you're going to hold on to the shins. Actually, before you do, lengthen your spine and then roll it back. All right, so here we are. You're going to look down at the belly. So hard to do in a mask. And your elbows are wide. You're just going to roll back to the blades and roll back up. Do the best you can to stay in the shape of the spine and to breathe. That was beautiful. Your feet together will help you get into your hamstring and butt muscles, believe it or not. So try to push your feet together. Nice, Liz. And you're inverting yourself so that the hips really have to lift. Now we're going to go into our ab series. We'll just do a regular ab series from 1 to 5. So you're going to straighten your left leg. Your right leg is going to be bent. You're going to hold on to it. Find that connection. Roll down slowly, surely to your upper ab curl. Inhale to switch and exhale to switch. Inhale to switch. Your legs are like a bow and arrow. Do they feel like it? They're totally opposite of one another. Make sure you cannot see your knee, your heel. Your heel's in line with your knee. I can see my heel. I don't want to. Now, both hands on both shins. Inhale, arms and legs away. Circle your arms around. Gather into your lats. Keep your legs together, Charlie, if you can. Nice. 3 more. Nice, Mary Ellen. Really stretch your legs. Oh. 2 more, but don't let your head go down. Good. Go into your scissors. 1 leg up, 1 leg down. And last week we touched the down leg to the floor. Can you get your thigh to the floor, not just your foot? Thigh to the floor. That's really different. Careful of your upper ab curl this. Don't look at your feet. Yeah, try to look at your knees if you can. Take a little breather, just a tiny breather. It's just a breath. That means you have to use it. Now come on up, hands back behind your neck, head, legs up. Thighs, press your legs away. The belly pulls them back in. This is my favorite one. To really stretch your legs out, and they're still going out as you're pulling them in. There's just 5. Use that breath, please. Use the lat muscles. The arm is connected into the lats, into the ribs. Start to twist. So think that, oh my gosh, I love this exercise, instead of, oh, this is the last one, thank goodness. Instead, go, oh, we finally got to this one. I love this one. Stretch your legs. Don't just poke them. Stretch. Yeah. And then release down. We did it. Now roll yourself up to a seated position so we can do spine stretch. So all of that should have already been a spine stretch, but now we're in a spine stretch. So you're going to bring your arms out in front of you. Shrug your shoulders back and down like you're pressing down on something. And then let's take a nice inhale to lengthen. Exhale, you're going to pull the ribs back so that you can round over them. And then everything pulls back in toward your spine, and you're in this crazy, crazy C shape. And now you're going to stack your spine back up. Press down with your thighs to stack back up. And go again. Keep pressing down with your thighs. Keep lifting up out of your hips. So hard to do. These look great. Each one, we have 3 more. Each one stacks you up taller than the one before. The legs are really important. They're pressing down so you can lift up and away. And after your last one, you get to hang somewhere, hands to some portion of your leg or foot. Let the head, neck, and shoulders relax. Let your collarbone be wide. And then just feel how you can lift even higher to get into this curl. From here, you'll bend your knees. So what we're going to do here is just a little bit of a roll back. So instead of going into open leg rocker right away, we'll have our feet together, knees apart, and then just hold on to underneath your knees. If your ankles are not as flexible as it is to have the whole foot down, you can put your heels down. All right, so we're going to roll back to your sacrum. And just notice your thoughts. You're like, up, and then come back up. With your spine flexing, not your hip flexors. Do you know the difference? Rolling back, opening up the hips. You're flexing your spine, especially on the way up. Don't rely on your hip flexors. Rely on your flexing of your spine. You feel the difference? That's really, really new for me because I didn't know how to cue it to make sure you're not in your hip flexors. Now go down even further. Make sure you're using the back of your legs. And come up with your spine flexing, not your hip flexors. I hope you feel that. All right, we'll come back to that. But right now we're doing open leg rocker. So you're going to take your hands inside of your legs and hold on to the front of your ankles. Now, as you roll back, your legs will lift. If this doesn't work for you for many reasons, you could certainly hold your hands underneath your knees. I'm going to do that for now. You're gonna straighten your right leg on an inhale. Exhale, use your hamstring to bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Good job. Exhale, bend. Excellent. Yes, nice. Now, both legs are going to straighten just once, and then you're just going to find a teaser, because this rolling is a teaser roll. Then you can take your hands on the back of the legs, and now look down at the belly and roll in this position. Inhale back. Big exhale forward. Go as slowly as you can to massage your spine. Beautiful. Hillary, that's lovely. Good. Eventually this exercise has the legs come together and you hold higher, like on your toes, so you get that hamstring stretch. Nice, Charlie. Good. So we're coming back to this roll down. So again, knees are bent just a little bit. Maybe your heels are down and your toes are up. Hold on to the back of the legs. This can also be done with a TheraBand if you want to do that. If you have a TheraBand, it would be around your feet. But we're going to curl down. Remember to flex your spine. Let go of the hip flexors as best you can. Now you're going to twist to one side. And you can open that twist. Come back and come back up. This is kind of a version of California rowings, right? You're going to curl back. California rowings, you should know that. And now you're flexing your spine. And then you're going to twist. And then come back up. So those of you who can, you're going down further. We're doing 2 more times. So curl down and then open. Maybe you curl down to your, I don't know, ribs. This is so much harder. So challenge yourself. But know that you're coming up not because you're grabbing your hip flexor, but because you're flexing and twisting your spine. It's fabulous. I'm just going to do one more. That was really nice. So, because it's easier for me on this side. And you could cheat. You could use your hand back here. It's still working. Just as long as you know that you're curling up with your spine. All right, let's go down just the regular way, but take your arms up this time.
Did we do the other side and I missed it?
I'm sorry, we should have done both sides. Did you guys do both sides? Sorry, yes, do your other side.
Okay, but if I missed it.
Yeah, no, we're supposed to be doing both sides. I thought I cued that. Sorry. Curl down. Notice the arms are heavy. They are low for this to carry down. Very nice. Stretch. Should feel really good to stretch right now. And then take your arms down by your side. We're doing corkscrew. So, we didn't do tree yet, did we? We'll do that in a moment. So bring your torso nice and long and your legs up. Take your tailbone down onto the mat. Drop the belly down into the spine and then drop your ribs down. And then take both legs as though they're glued together to the right. And swing them around. Now you should feel all the muscles that we were just using to do all the work. Do 3 in each direction. Keep dropping your ribs down. They'll tend to pop up because it's hard. They won't want to, the rib cage won't want to stay down. And try to breathe and relax the tension that's in your chest. And when you're finished, you're rolling up to a seated position for saw. So I'm going to save tree for later because I also want you to get into some extension of your spine. So in order to get some pre-extension in, we're going to take the hands back behind you. And you can bend your knees or you can just keep them right where they are. And you can even make them lazy if you want to. Oh, yeah, let's just be lazy. You're at the beach, you know. But then kind of coordinate so you have a little bit of muscle engagement. And then what you're going to do is engage all the way from the pubic bone all the way up. And the chest is going to lift. And you're doing a little back bend. So it's just a little opening here. So shrugging the shoulders back. You're just going to stay here for a moment. Because what happens is, we tend to compress rather than lengthen. So the low back gets compressed, the neck gets compressed. I want you to feel it in your back. If you're finding that the legs bother you, put them in a different position. We're going to take 3 more breaths. Yay, doesn't that feel good? Charlie, that was great. So we're always in this position, but now we're in this position. All right, after your last one, then we'll do saw. Okay, so nice and tall. You felt your back muscles, I hope, lifting and opening your chest. And now they're going to hold you nice and upright. Your arms going out to the side in your peripheral view. Remember to pull into all of these muscles here. Inhale. Take an exhale to the right. You twist and you round up and over this right side. Stretch. Inhale. Make it a big inhale. Exhale, untwist and twist to the other side. And then go up and over, just like that spine stretch we did. Stack back up and then go at your own speed. Legs are just totally glued there. They're so strong, and all of the movements coming from the rib cage. We don't move our ribs very much. Move them. It will make life so much easier. You'll be able to breathe. Lift up out of your hips. This is so hard to get out of the hip flexion. You can't. You're here. This is how it goes. It looks so good. So let's do spine twist while we're here too. So bring your legs together. Now you have the advantage of your inner thighs. And then on purpose, move one leg and the other hip. You know, my sister and I used to have races. You do that, right? We used to have races. Yeah, so she won't admit it, but we did. And now you're on your sit bones. Do not do that. What?
I said, you must have won.
I did.
Which is why she wanted to
So don't move your hips now and don't move your legs. They're kind of glued there. And then you take your arms out to the side in your peripheral view. Remember your arms are lowered. Remember from where you are twisting, take an inhale and exhale, twist from the rib cage. Like make the ribs spin around. And then go to the front on an inhale. Take an inhale, like really take it. And take a big exhale. Take an inhale. Take a big exhale. Nice job. Look at his legs, their hips are moving. Woohoo! Last one. I hope you feel good. Those were the muscles that we were using when we were rolling down, right? We were using those. And they're really important. All right, now let's swing around over onto our belly. So when you get there, I want to concentrate on having your hips nice and open. So the front of your hips that are down now onto the mat, you want to feel as though you are decreasing the space between your hips, the front of your hips and your mat. And what I usually do is pull the belly in and up and my ribs in and up so I'm all geared up for this swan. My shoulders go down. And then I stay here a moment. And then I make sure I can breathe. So are you able to breathe? Nice big inhales and exhales. Are you feeling your legs fire up? If you press your feet down and lift your knees off, keep your thighs down, you might feel some action in the back of the legs. I want you to feel that. So now you're going to travel your spine. So the spine travels forward and up. Keep going forward. Keep going up. And then it travels forward to go down. The legs never stop working. Keep going. Yeah, nice, you guys. Nice. Keeping your elbows close to you. When your elbows go out to the side, you end up starting to use your shoulders and you want to use your back muscles. Make sure you feel your back. We're doing 2 more, and if you want to add a swan dive after that, you do. Your arms will work. Your legs will work. If you want to add a swan dive, you can do this catch and dive, which is what I'm doing. Try to stay nice and even. Yeah. Sit back into child's pose. So really, I think I tell you this all the time, but I get these aha moments. And they're usually in this class. And what I just got there was my hamstrings were really working. That's a really good thing. Anyone else feel that? A little bit of hamstrings? Let's go back down and see if we can feel it. You're going to be on your forearms. So engaging the legs so much that you actually feel the hamstrings more than your quads. Not easy. Can I get a little sign in the room of what if you feel your hamstrings? All right, now press down on your fists. Lift a little weight off your elbows. Widen your collarbones. Send your chest forward. Use the belly. Inhale to bend the right knee. Hamstrings. Oh. And other leg hamstrings. And keep the belly in. It wants to pop out. Everything okay? Charlie, that looks really good. Keep the shoulders easy. Now, if you want to, you're bending one knee and turning to look at it, same side. Same side. You'll feel a little contraction. It'll feel different. Be careful. Keep the belly in. Keep lifting. You're in your extension. Now, if you want to, you're going to look at the opposite leg. Right? So now I'm turning left, looking for my right foot. Can't see it. And that's okay. A lot of work. And then just release all the way down this time. Take your hands underneath your forehead. Just wiggle your hips around. See if you can take a nice breath here, even though we're right on our ribs. Settle your shoulders. And you're going to take your arms down by your side. Palms will face down. So I don't really want you to bend your neck. I want you to shrug your shoulders back. And what I'd like you to do is engage the belly, engage the legs. And you can lift your head, but don't bend your neck, right? You're lifting head, neck, and shoulders, but not bending. Are you there? That's a yes? All right, now you're going to lift your arms. Now, without collapsing your legs in toward your body, you're going to lift your legs. And everything's fired up. Well, my name isn't Susan. Now, fold the hands on top. Draw the legs down. Turn your head to the right. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. 1, 2, 3. Hamstrings. Legs go down. You go up. Other side. Exhale, bend. Hamstrings, belly. Inhale. Do it 2 more times, please. I prepared you. You should feel really, really, really on fire in your whole back line. I hope. Feet down. Yes, nice. And then you deserve a really nice child's pose if you'd like one. That was really good. Yeah, so try not to move your hips when you bend your knees. One of the cues that someone told me, which I think was a really good one, when you bend your knees, that little place right above your knee, push that down to the floor. So if you push that down as you bend your knee, you might be able to keep your pelvis level. So to get what you need from your child's pose. Now we're doing neck pull, which will feel really good after this, hopefully, because we're all ready for it. So at the top of your mat, just take an assessment of how you're feeling. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. All right, nice and tall. Take your hands down by your side and feel the way that engages your lat muscles. Anybody? Some back muscles? So when you bring your arms up, still feel your lat muscles. That's tricky, but I'm trying to feel them. Feel the back of your legs pressing down. Hinge back in a long spine until you can no longer feel all of these connections. If you can no longer feel them, you find another way down to feel them. And then you have to feel those connections on the way up, which are really hard. And then round yourself up and over. Create space, stretch in your spine, stack back up in the base of your spine, and go again. This will be my nemesis forever. but it's getting better and better for me. So you want to find those sticky spots where your spine doesn't want to bend, where you don't want to breathe, where you just feel like you wish you could bypass it. You know, try to address it. If you feel like it today, address it. Is there a connection somewhere that is not firing, right? So we're going to do it one more time, up and down. If you struggle on the way up, breathing also helps you. Lengthening helps you. Just all the things that you don't think to do or what you should do. We're going to stay down when you're down. And then just take what you need here. It might be that you cranked something that needs a little bit of a release, or maybe you want to engage something more down here, or maybe see how it feels. Maybe even taking your hands on the belly. The belly at some point should not feel hardened. It should feel supple. That's how you're going to get the work done better. So you want to make sure that there's some suppleness going on here. And then let's do shoulder bridge. So the feet are right in line with your seat. We are going to do shoulder bridge with kicks. We'll just do one shoulder bridge and then shoulder bridge with kicks. So collarbone is nice and wide. It might mean that your arms have to go out to the side to feel that. Feel the back of the legs immediately. Feel the belly drop down to curl. And then lengthen your spine. Remember, we're only doing one bridge. So stay here. And feel the suppleness even here in the belly. Side body nice and long and strong. Be able to breathe. Let your ribs drop down. Make sure your neck is okay. And maybe lift the hips even further, because I just noticed I had dropped them. So I want you to feel the back of your legs. Then you'll keep the back of the legs working and the hips open for as long as possible as you take your spine down. Keep reaching out through the crown of your head. Keep stretching. Keep not missing each vertebra. And then stay down and notice that you're releasing, which is a good thing. Now, when you do kicks, you can't let go of anything, but you still have to have that freedom of the leg kicking. So before we do it with our hips up, let's straighten your left leg long and put your right leg up. Now, I want you to actually place the leg. You're going to lift it up and point the toes. And then flex your heels and stretch your leg down. And point and lift up. And flex, stretch the leg and push down. So that's what you're doing while you're in here. There's that much work. Now bend the left knee. And it's too hard to explain, so we're going to do our bridge. Actually, let's do the other leg. Sorry. Right leg long, left leg goes up. Point, flex, stretch. Reach out of the hip point to go up. Flex, stretch, down. Belly's still working, right? Point up. Flex down. Now, you know what? This would be a perfect time to do tree. So let's do it, and we'll go back to our shoulder bridge with kicks. So left leg nice and long. Right leg is long, but it is halfway up toward the ceiling. So you'll find your upper ab curl, and you'll roll up. Yep, walking up your leg and walking down. Yeah, so let me tell you what I see in the room here, which you can't see, which is actually perfect. This leg does not have to be way up here and straight. It could be down here and the knee could be bent, right? It's really about where this femur bone is. So make it manageable for yourself. Bend your knees if you need to. It's really the spine. We're talking about flexing your spine. Once you're up here, you're going to point and flex and circle the ankle. And then take a moment to drop down into your lat muscles and relax your hip flexors. And then reach the leg up and down. Oh, guess what we're doing? We're doing kicks. We're doing shoulder bridge with kicks in tree. Oh, that was convenient. And roll yourself down. Yes. Notice where the sticky spots are. And then we'll go into the other side. Remember, your leg is your individual placement. Nobody cares but you and me, right? So you have to decide where you're going to be able to get the work done. So it does help to bend the knees sometimes. So just know that you are allowed to do this. So Mary Ellen, that looks so good. She's got her leg somewhere around here, and it's so working for her. And it works for me too. I can really get into my belly more. Yeah, whatever makes you get into the belly. Once you're here, maybe then you can extend it if you want to. You're circling and pointing and flexing. And then here is your shoulder bridge with kicks. Up and down it goes. So if you want to go like this. Yeah, now take the spine down. Keep the legs still. This is flexion of your spine. Let go of the hip flexors. Take a moment. Make sure the middle of your back, the whole back feels a little bit more liberated and strong, but also supple. And we'll do our bridge with kicks. So heels line up with sit bones, arms go down by your side, you curl up to your bridge, lengthening like you've never lengthened before. You're so long. Let's stand into the left foot, bring your right leg in and up, point to up, flex down, point up, flex down. It's just a little different, but it's the same concept. And then you're switching your legs, the other leg comes in and up. Try not to put any extra tension on your head, neck, and shoulders. You're just holding this bridge up here and floating one leg down and up. Now bring your feet down. Pause for a moment and then take your spine down. All right, stay down. Actually, I'm going to come back and do jackknife after we do side leg kicks. No. So after this would normally be, see, this is what happens. Normally, we would do spine twist and jackknife. And then what's after that? So let's go ahead onto our sides.
Which one?
Let's use our left side. So stretch out. Perfect time to use our left side. So stretch it, stretch it, stretch it. And let's just stay here for a moment and stretch. And last week we did this little gyrokinesis move of trying to curl this bottom side. So those of you at home can see me curling this side. And then from that curl, I'm going to lift up. Woo. And then I'm going to curl. And I'm going to keep my hand down and lift up. And then I'm going to curl. And you can bend your knees here if you wanted to, right? Yeah. All right, now let's go all the way down. Bring your legs 45. Take your left elbow underneath. Maybe right elbow bends. Find all that work in the side of your body, the front and the back. I'm going to take the top leg hip level and let it swing forward, flexing the hip, and backward, extending the hip. And keep going. We're only doing 3. When you have a small amount, you know you have to really concentrate. That's why Pilates is small repetitions. He meant business. And then externally rotate your leg, point up, flex down. There's 6 of these. Breathe. Keep it going, flexing up, pointing down. Stretch the leg out of the hip, both legs out of the hip. Stretch your upper body out of the hip. Add your 3 développés. Keep going. Make sure everything feels all right. Keep track. And then enveloppe, open, bend, shut. You're hinging at the side of your hip. Keep the belly in. And then add your rond de jambe. I'm going to watch for a moment. I hope you guys know what you're doing. You're going to take your leg forward and up and around. Nice. Yep. Trying to get as much movement as you get in your arm. You're getting that much movement in your leg. Yeah, nice. Now let's do bicycle. So the top arm goes forward, top leg comes to meet the arm, bend the knee in and send it out. And again, in and out. One more time, just oiling up the hips. And then you reach back. I heard that, Cheryl. That was pretty cool. Yeah, you might hear noises like when your arm meets your leg because it's actually meeting. That's a good thing, you know? All right, now let's go ahead and go into a figure 4. You can come down on the pillow of your arm or not, your choice, and then lift and lower the bottom leg. In no way are you shortening anything. You're actually lengthening top side and bottom side. And then you're stretching this bottom hip. I hope you feel that. It's stretching. The whole IT band is stretching. Little circles in both directions. And then we'll go all the way down. You can spider tip your fingers. You know, this is the most advanced way. You do not have to do that. You could so totally take your hand in front or here. I'm going to do it here today. So the top leg is hip level. The bottom leg comes to join it. Oh, it's not so easy. Oh my. And then the top leg takes a ride on the bottom leg. It's almost easier to make this connection than it is to do this. Little walks, long strides. One leg flexing at the hip, one leg extending at the hip. All right, sideways teasers if you choose to do so. You could come a little more forward on your mat and then roll up either onto your back and come up or stay on your side. Did you do that already? Well, you guys are quick. Let's go on to our belly. So choice is to take the hands underneath your forehead or underneath your hips. You decide what works for you. I'm putting mine underneath the hips today. My hip bone is pushing out in between my thumb and first finger. So that keeps me aware that my hips are supposed to be pressing down as I externally rotate my legs and lift my thighs and open and close the thighs. Long low back, a lot of work. Stretch your legs, stretch them out, and then lower down, sit back into child's pose. Very nice. Let's take some time to get onto the other side. Time is flying, flying. All right, this is that gyro one. It's harder for me to show you on this side because it's a little harder for me to do it. Let's stretch yourself long and then lift underneath and then press underneath down. So it's a side bend basically. And I love that because guess what you're doing? You're bending your side, right? All right, now go ahead and take that right elbow, bend it, bring your legs a little bit more in front. So Cheryl, yours are a little bit too much in front. You're like not 45. Bring your legs back more, even more. Yeah, that's good. Maybe it's my vantage point. All right, top leg, hip level. Only 3, sweep it forward without collapsing into your body. Sweep it back, sweep it forward, sweep it back. Sweep it forward, sweep it back, bring it over the other leg, externally rotate, bring it up and down. Point up, flex down. Point up, flex down. And now 3, flexing up and pointing down. Reach both legs out of the hip. Like you can't believe that somebody's pulling the legs out more and more and more. And then you're adding your developed pace. So bend, straighten, close. Keep breathing. Keep lengthening your neck. Don't let your neck hurt. So sorry, en bloque. What am I doing? I'm a little confused. I'm thinking about my neck because my neck hurts and I'm trying to cue you guys to not have your neck hurt. And then your rond de jambe. I think because I and tense. So let your leg move around. So show a little bit to the back if you can. Take your leg to the back. Yeah. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You'd fall over, right? Backward, and it would be okay. And Liz, make sure your head is in line with the chest. There you go. Bicycle. Top arm stays to have the leg meet it. So it stays there, the leg comes. Open up the hip here. And then after you've done 3 in that direction, you keep the leg there and you reach back to bring the leg in and out. 3 of those. Go down onto the pillow of your arm. Bring your legs a little bit more, actually they're fine the way they are. You're just gonna make your figure 4 and lift and lower the bottom leg. So you should feel all this work still in the side of your body. The leg is lifted by the core anyway, circling. So you're stretching your bottom hip and the whole IT band. And then let's go all the way down. Remember, there's several different ways you could keep your hand right here in front of your chest. You could spider tip your fingers. You could take, I'm going to take my top arm and hover it over my top leg. Bottom leg comes to meet the top leg. Top leg takes a ride on the bottom leg. Little walks. You have to try to start to feel this in your core. It's coming from your center and long strides. So sideways teasers, we're going to do regular teasers too, but sideways teasers, you can come up on your side to roll into your teaser. Now let's just stay up for a moment. We still have jackknife to do. But I want you to sit for a moment, kind of in a teaser place. So you've suppled your body back into this teaser. It's like kneaded. You kneaded your body back into here. And here I am in my manageable teaser. My hip flexors need to relax. My belly is working. And what I want you to find is your actual center. We talk about it all the time. You know, there's this center of our body. Where is it? In this position. I'm not answering for you. I just want you to explore it and find it. And then find your teaser. And is your teaser surrounding your center? Is the center of this exercise? And then roll down from your center. Roll back up over your center. Roll back down. Totally bend your knees if you'd like to. Beautiful. That was absolutely wonderful. So you're nothing if you can't find your center, right? Really. I'm sorry. You really are something if you can't find your center, but it's nice to find your center. All right. Now, your center is available to you in jackknife. It just doesn't seem like it. So what we're going to do is find a shoulder stand. So when you do your shoulder stand, you can take your hands underneath your hips. So we're kind of here. And look how similar this is to teaser. I'm in an upside down upper ab curl. Where is my center? Really important to find. Now I'm going to take my feet so that they go a little bit where the wall and ceiling meet, and I'm going to take my arms down by my side. Now I'm going to take my legs a little bit away from me by using my back of my thighs, and I'm going to take my spine down. And up. Center from my very center. And down. We have one more from your center. Nice, Cheryl. Yeah, explore this from the center of your body. We get so caught up in the mechanics that if you are finding your center, everything is rounding over it. That's it. It's really nice. All right, let's come to do another. So we're doing 2 more things. We're doing boomerang, seal, and we're going to end with a push-up. All right. That doesn't leave us a whole lot of time, but find your center while you're seated. And cross your right leg over your left. Take your hands by your side. And as you come into this teaser, where's your center? And you're going to roll back, switch your legs, roll back up. Oh my gosh, this is so perfect, right? Because it's like jackknife and teaser. Yeah, thanks, God. Here we go. Stack your spine up. Sometimes things work out. And then teaser. Switching your legs. This is jackknife with your head up. Open the curtain. Pause and teaser, right? And then, now let's go into our seal. So, arms go inside of your legs and you cup the outside of your ankles. You're going to push your feet together. Remember that? That goes right into the butt and the hamstrings. Press your thighs into your arms and your arms into your thighs. Nice, Mary Ellen. Open, close 3 times. Roll back. Keep your head off. Open, close. Come back up, open, close. Keep your collarbone wide. Some of you will love this, some of you will not. It's just the way these exercises are. When you're ready, you're going to find your way into tabletop. Right, so here's our tabletop. Oh. And so it's very important here. Have you ever looked for the center of your body in your tabletop? Huh. So you know what it's like if somebody were to sit on you. Uh-oh, I lost my center, right? So here's my center. I'm going to take one leg back, followed by the other, and I'm going to find my plank. I still have my center, though. I hope you do. Now you're going to lift one leg, and you're going to take your spine forward and backward. Then you'll switch your legs. Spine goes forward and back. Don't lose your center. Keep your hips down, Carly. Keep your hips down. Rock your spine forward. Bring your head beyond your fingers. There we go. There we go. Drop down into child's pose. Now take a little side bend here, however you want to do it. We're going to end with a side bend. It could be in child's pose. It could be a seated side bend that looks like this. It could be our Pilates side bend, right, which we did last week, I think. Right, here's our side bend. Oh, look, I'm bending my side. I'm sorry, the semantics of all of this. You're like, yeah, that's why it's called that. It's also called Mermaid by Joseph Pilates because our legs are one leg. And let's make sure we're okay. It's 12:59, that's pretty good. I'm gonna unmute you, I think. Oh dear, the eyes with contacts. Oh my.
All right, Susan.
Bye. Oh, you can else, can't you? Hello. Yes, you're so bright. All right. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.